individuals that we serve that receive DD services who may have different problem behaviors that disrupt their day and interfere with their daily functioning may have a behavior support plan.
Anybody can have a BSP, and usually it's part of the individualized support plan or individual support plan, the ISP. For the most part, though, the people who get BSPs are people who have mental health difficulties, and particularly people who have problem behavior like aggression, property destruction, self-injurious behavior, those types of things.
Some examples of things that you would find on a behavior support plan would include information about targeted behaviors or the behaviors that we're looking at trying to change. There would also be information about how to prevent those behaviors from occurring and identifying triggers to that behavior, as well as information about what that behavior looks like and how to respond to the behavior. And the most important piece is how we can teach people to change their own behaviors by choosing more appropriate things to do.
Ideally, a behavior support plan is developed by a credentialed clinician. In most places, that is a person with a master's degree in a specific field, like behavior analysis. All plans are part of the interdisciplinary team process.
There are several people that develop the behavior support plan. This includes the individual receiving services, in addition to their management staff, a behavior clinician, if applicable, teachers, if there's someone in the school system. It also includes direct support professionals and significant others for the individual served.
A lot of times a BSP will address aggression, property destruction, those types of things. And sometimes we add things to the behavior support plan that are positive behaviors. And that's really that's the best way to do a behavior support plan, where you have replacement behaviors based on what you think the person really needs.
The behavior support plan also includes important information about the likes and dislikes of the individual and what their strengths are. Many individuals that we serve, I think, are misunderstood. Behavior is communication, and people use behavior to communicate their wants and needs. And the behavior support plan can help us to understand where the person is coming from by looking at their history, by looking at their patterns of behavior, and seeing what they are trying to get in a situation or get away from.
Really, a BSP is a treatment plan for the individual, but more importantly, it's an instruction manual for the staff member.
It gives staff a tool, and it gives them procedures so that they know how to respond. Because without it, then they would all be responding differently and possibly creating more behavior, different behaviors, or maybe causing the inappropriate behaviors to occur more frequently because they might actually be reinforcing that behavior and not realizing it. It could also lead to unnecessary consequences for the individual or to staff. Staff could get injured. Staff could get so frustrated that they end up abusing the client or neglecting the client, and that could pose consequences for the individual or the staff member.
The key is that a behavior support plan works to try to give people who have problem behavior opportunities to have successes in their lives, because the biggest barrier to their success, generally speaking, for these folks, is their problem behavior. If they can overcome that, then all of a sudden they aren't the person with aggression. They aren't the person who bites. They aren't the person who bangs his or her head. Instead, they're the person who enjoys going fishing or likes to go out and watch basketball games or play in basketball games. That's basically where a behavior support plan can really be a life-changing treatment plan, is allowing the person to overcome the barriers and move on with the things that should be the important parts of their lives.